Hi. I'd like to talk about yoga, especially to guys about yoga. There are two things that I will never be embarrassed about: body hair and this. I know, I can try to hide it underneath a loose shirt, but it's always there, getting in the way. One thing I won't be is embarrassed. And it seems that even 20 pounds ago, it was still there. I lose weight, it gets a little smaller, but it's always there, and especially these. They don't go away. So, I can work with them. One of the most common moves in yoga is the forward fold, and it's done in many different ways: standing up, kneeling, sitting. And when you're standing and you come into a forward fold, usually the feet are kind of together, and you want to have the ribs pressing up against the thighs. And if this gets in the way, just move the feet a little farther apart. Make room. Let it sink in between your thighs. This way. The legs are still more or less lined up, and the knees are moving out over the toes. And then I can allow my ribs really close up against the thighs, and the lower back isn't just kind of hanging there, that I'm actually folding forward, and my spine can just relax upside down. You can also rest on the elbows, just above the knees, putting the weight of the upper body resting on the elbows, and then you can let the head hang. And again, in that way, the upper back is more or less hanging upside down, and there's no strain of hanging over, suspended in midair. If you're kneeling, and one of the most common poses is child pose, with the seat up against the heels, and the forehead coming down to the mat. In order to get the seat a little closer down to the heels, move the knees apart. Again, making room, letting the belly sink in between the thighs. The seat then can come closer down, maybe even touching the heels, and the forehead can come down onto the floor. For child pose. Another move in yoga, a common move, is stepping the foot in between the hands and then dropping the opposite knee. Same thing. Let the belly come on the inside of the thigh. Even pick up and move the foot so that the lower part of the leg is up and down. This way the belly has a place to go. The fingertips can come to the mat. And this pose can allow the front of the hip to stretch in a safe way. So rather than be embarrassed about it, rather than to try to hide it, or worse yet, not doing yoga and using it as an excuse not to do anything,